Hi, Brock Glover with Dunlop Tires. If you may ask riders to make a list of the 5 most dreaded maintenance items they have to do on their motorcycles, I bet you changing the tire would be right at the top. It doesn't need to be though. We're here today to show you the right way to do it. We're going to focus on tire removal today. The first thing you want to do is to remove the core of the tire, of the tube, and deflate the tire. Second, locate your rim lock and loosen it. You'll notice that Brian Fleck has this tire up on a stand today, which just really helps if you can invest in one of those. He's now breaking the bead of the tire all the way around and using tire irons. He'll first pop off the side. Once he gets this bead completely removed from this side, he'll flip the tire over and also remove, this is where most people go wrong, you actually remove this bead on this side also. When you get finished, you end up having both the tire in a much looser position, and also you're able to just pull the rim right out just like that. The tube will remain inside the tire. If you use these proper techniques, I'm sure you'll have a lot less trouble removing a tire. Hi, Brock Glover at Dunlop Tires. If you ask riders to make a list of the 5 most dreaded maintenance items they have to do on their motorcycles, I bet changing a tire would be right at the top. It doesn't have to be if you use proper techniques. In another piece, we focused on how to dismount your tire. In this one, we're going to tell you how to put it back on. First thing you want to do is inspect your rim. Make sure your spokes are tight, no damage, the rim's doesn't have any dents in it, everything looks good on it. You notice we have some tape on the rim instead of the rim band there. We do that to make sure that no dirt gets underneath there, and also that the spoke nipple itself, if they were to back out, they don't wander around inside the rim. Next, Brian here is putting some cornstarch or baby powder inside of the rim to keep the tube nice and supple inside, and also if it needs to slip a little bit, it can without tearing the valve core out. You notice he just has enough pressure inside that tube just to make it hold its shape so it can fit inside the tire, but it doesn't restrict him mounting the tire. Next, you'll notice the tire is sitting with the disc up, which helps protect it in case you don't have one of these nice stands, but I'd certainly recommend getting one of these stands. This is a tire mounting lube, which is a lubricant, also something to invest in if you want to do tires often. First thing you'll notice, Brian is also inserting the valve stem inside the rim, and then he just lightly puts a nut on the end to keep it from backing out. Don't tighten this nut down, just keep it very loose, just a few threads is all you need. With the lube, half the tire can be pushed on with the hand, and here he's spooning it on the rest of the way. Once he gets it on there, you focus on the rim lock by pulling the tire over both sides and pushing the rim lock up, which allows the rim lock to go into the proper position. Next, he puts the first tire iron in the bead. Then continues putting the bead on the rest of the way around the tire, taking special care around the rim lock if you'll notice. Also make sure that you have the tire pushed down inside the center of the rim as far as possible on the opposite side that you're working. This allows the tire more space on the other side to also come onto the bead much easier. And the last little bit, just pop it on by hand. Uses the tire iron there to help pop the tube, the valve stem all the way out so you can get the air into the tube. At this point, overinflation, maybe up to 25, 30 pounds, just to make sure that the bead pops all the way around. Brian inspected the bead, looks good. At that point, this is the time that you tighten your rim lock back up. Do not over tighten your rim lock. Good snug tug is all you need on that wrench. We have more rim locks being broken from people over tightening them. That's the worst thing you can do. It also ends up bending your rim and makes it to where you have to replace your rim. The last thing you need to do at this point is set the proper pressure for the terrain and the track that you're going to be riding on. And I think by using these proper techniques, you'll find that changing a tire really isn't that bad.